Hi everyone, it's your friend Brittany here. Update time. I don't know where to start. There's so much going on. I'm kind of really torn. There's so many emotions going through my head at the moment. So I'll quickly just push out the negative ones because I just want to get them out and away. Just there's a lot of stress in my life at the moment, just work related, but that's okay. I'm working through that. That's not an issue. But I'm just finding myself, well, to put it bluntly, my insomnia is back. It's back. I'm really struggling to sleep. I'm waking up about 1 a.m. every morning, and I'm just thoughts racing through my head, and I can't switch them off. To the point this morning where for about 2 hours I laid in bed. I got up and took some Nurofen to try to calm me down to get me back to sleep. Didn't work, so I found myself at 3 o'clock in the morning sitting on the couch crying. I don't know why I was crying. I don't know what I was crying about. I was just crying. Oh, I've got these old glasses on again. I have them around the house. So yeah, sleep is so important, and when I don't get it, oh boy. So I'm fatigued, I'm tired because I haven't slept now for about 3 nights, and it's really affecting me, and I'm feel as though I'm an emotional wreck, and I'm just about to blow out. So hence why all of my posts I've been putting up, because this might sound a bit self-serving, and it is. I do a lot of that to, I don't know, seek some validation, hear from you, lovely people. You give me hope and inspiration, and you do that by saying I'm giving that to you. So I want to be just totally open and honest about everything, and it's, you know, I'm not one of those people that just post up all the wonderful things that happen. Yeah, I do that too. But I also post up the struggles because I think it's important to be real, and when you are struggling to really put that out there and say, like, it's like these are real valid emotions, and I think we all go through this at some stage. Is it just hormonal? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry that the wind's blowing that curtain over there making a noise, and I'm not going to go and change it. So that leads me to the good. I'm torn between these two worlds. I'm well and truly leaving the old world behind, and I just put a comment on one of these posts that I was just referring to. One of you lovely ladies who comments quite regularly. Thank you. The fact that, like, I don't have this disassociation with who I used to be, that where at the earlier stages of my transition, I did have a lot of resentment for old me. It sounds dumb saying old me because it is still me. I'm just different. And I had to work through that. And I resolved those issues, and I reconciled that sort of loathing that I had for old me, and we became friends again. And it was that point that initiated another stage of growth and another stage of acceptance, and it all flowed, and it's continued to do that. But I just made mention how, like, if you scroll back through my feed, you'll see a lot of side-by-side photos I used to do, a lot of comparisons, and I just don't do that anymore, and I don't want to do that anymore. I don't feel the need. Like I said, you can scroll back through my feed and you can see for yourself. I don't need to advertise the fact that I used to look like a man. Devil's in the detail, right? I used to look like a man. Not that I was one. I think I've always been who I am inside. So it kind of like the euphoria parts are just brilliant. Like, and I am blessed. I'm so lucky that these things are happening for me, because I can only imagine how difficult the hard times must be. Oh, I'm going to be careful what I say here, but you know, there's a lot of things I'm grateful for, and you know, my relationship with my wife is just amazing, and my family are so supportive, and one of my family is on here, so I know you always say positive things, and I know you love me, and I love you too. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on. Something that might be considered creepy / good was we went out to a bar on Sunday afternoon last weekend, and we saw a friend perform, and we'd had a few drinks. We were quite a few hours in. We'd been there a while, and I'm doing me, and so I go to the bar and I order 2 glasses of wine, and some dude next to me says, "Oh, do you have a drinking problem, or is one of those for me?" I'm like, oh God, fair enough. And so I just turned to him and looked him in the eye, and I said, "No, one of these is for my wife." And I could see his brain just exploding in his head, like, wait a minute, how can you have a wife? Like, yeah, it's pretty easy. It's called being gay. Anyway, so that kind of happened, and so I will admit, I did walk back to the table with the biggest grin on my face, and my wife and her friend were like, "What happened to you? Why are you so grinning?" And I told them, and they just thought that was the funniest thing. So things like that do give me that reassurance that I am passing the P word that no one likes, but it does fill me with a lot of validation, and it does make me feel good. And I think you've got to kind of acknowledge those moments and those points in time, because there's so many hard things. But how I'm feeling now, I'm feeling well. There's a lot going on, but none of it is around my transition. None of it is around my identity. It's kind of weird, and in a way, as stressful as it is and as concerning as it is, it's also nice because I'm not worrying about my identity. That seems to be like I've taken the next step. But life is life, and life gets hard sometimes, and life gets you down, and it throws challenges at you that you need to navigate and work through. So now I'm thinking about this out loud, and this is one of the benefits of doing these videos, is that I get this stuff out of my head, and then you give me some critique and some feedback and comments, and then it all kind of seems to settle down. But yeah, I think I'm just taking that next step where it's who I am is not an issue. How I'm perceived, not as in man, woman, anything, gender, nothing, but, well, maybe a little bit. I think I'm purely really starting to experience what it's like to be a woman in the world, and the challenges that brings, and that pure, complete loss of male privilege. It's gone. It's just gone. And in so many ways, it's just gone. So I'm going to wrap up with, if you're at the start of your transition, yes, sometimes things on the other side look really rosy and wonderful, and there's a lot of that stuff. But just be prepared that there's going to be stuff along the way that you probably didn't realise was going to happen, things that weren't going to hit you as hard as they will, and just be prepared. Not try and discourage anybody. Again, I'm an example of someone who is just, even in this moment where I'm struggling, I'm still smiling, I'm still positive. It's almost the weekend. We've got a 4.5 day weekend coming up. So thoroughly looking forward to spending time with my loved ones. And if I don't come back before then, you know that I will. Wishing you a happy Easter if you celebrate Easter, or just some time with your family and loved ones. Bye.